What up, AfterBuzzers? We are here with the cast of Famously Single Season 2. Congratulations.
Yay. Yeah,
right.
We're so excited.
So first season, so we do the after show for Famously Single. So to see you guys get put in this house, what was the biggest challenge upon entering?
Biggest challenge of the house,
I mean, everything was a challenge.
Yeah.
Having your phones taken away.
Well, no, okay, girls, look at you.
Having to share a bachelor.
I'm talking about dating-wise. Now you're being forced to have to be put into situations that make you feel uncomfortable. So what was one situation for you guys each?
Just being vulnerable and opening up and going on so many dates all the time. I think that was just the constant lingering challenge that we had.
I also think it was really hard for you guys not to be in control, completely in control of your environment or your activities or your agenda, and I think that was a huge stretch. I mean, can you imagine being in a house where, like, for weeks on end, you couldn't control anything, and I gave you challenges that were dating and relationship challenges, and you have to do it?
No, I couldn't imagine that because I can't do that in my day-to-day life.
Maybe you should come on next season.
There we have it.
Casting next week.
So did Paulie give you any tips for coming on to the show?
Yeah, I definitely reached out to Paulie before I considered doing the show. They asked me to do the first season. I said no, and then this
Why
year
did you say no for first season?
Because I just really wanted someone else to take the bullet. I let Paulie do it, you know? Let him see and follow his lead. But he definitely said nothing but good things about the show, and I would do the same thing if one of my other fellow castmates asked me about the show as well.
And then Chad, for you, I mean, you've been on television in the dating world, so this is a totally different type of pond for you. So what was that like to actually have to put yourself in there, losing that control, and having to give in to another side of Chad?
I mean, losing the control, I guess it was new for me to date people that I didn't even select. You know what I mean? And to kind of open up, my dating world to people that I wouldn't normally have chosen. But I mean, I love being on part of this cast, being with these people. It was so much different than The Bachelor. To be with a bunch of famous people who really, at the end of the day, are just themselves, versus trying to portray something that they're not. And so I had a great fun.
What's one thing, Dorothy, that Dr. Darcy really kind of helped you with this season?
I think Dr. Darcy helped me with a lot this season. I think a lot in the last couple months, honestly. And I think for me, she really taught me that I should, be more open and be more vulnerable, and also be more accepting of and forgiving of other people. And just because I have very high standards for myself, so I have very high standards for everyone around me. And that, she did say, if you keep cutting people out of your life that make mistakes, you're just going to be alone.
What would you say is the biggest surprise that we're going to get this season? Because we got a lot of interesting pop-ups with Samaya, Jessica, some relationships in the house. Are we going to see some of that this season?
Absolutely. I mean, look, the first relationships that they have to form are with each other, so that's always the greatest challenge initially for them. But we have Callum Best coming back this season, and that was a really unique experience because I had a pre-existing relationship with him. He and I was able to ask him questions and do work with him that I couldn't do with the rest of them because I had to start from ground zero with these guys and build trust. But with Callum, I could begin where I left off, so that was amazing.
Now, do you keep in contact with anyone from the first season and kind of check in with them and see?
I do. I keep tabs on my children, of course, yes.
Now, Famously Single, when can we check it out?
Oh, July 9th at 10 p.m.
Boom. Buzz you later, then check out the after show right after.